talk sometimes about the technology asset, the data and the boxes, wires, the systems, cloud services. But a lot of attention of a leader like you has to go on developing the human asset, having the people that can deliver and are capable. When the executives say, okay,
Yeah.
Michelle, here's a big bundle of capital for you to
Hmm.
spend to go cause this thing to happen, you've got to have the talent pool to do that. So let me turn a little bit on that. What have you learned about
Hmm.
developing people in your own IT data teams
Hmm.
versus how much you can just do by contracts and
Hmm.
renting various consultancies and getting what you want?
Yeah, I love that question because I think a lot of CIO or CDTO or CDTTO always think about what is a make or versus buy. I think the capabilities is always a couple of things, and then I can probably give you a couple of examples that we went through specifically. Um, Before you can think about everything, I cannot emphasize the importance of enterprise architecture tech stack. Without knowing those, you don't even know what you're going to outsource and to insource. Otherwise, those are actually short term. You will short live and then you have to do it one time. The tech stack is so important to really think about your foundation. We call it digital foundations. Then the second step you have to do is determine this is L1 skill sets, L2 skill sets, and L3 skill sets. And that's just really the essence of it. Then once you determine those, L3 skill set is the one you want to upgrade to and you want to retain. You want to continue so you can continue to produce products and continuous improvement. Those we really need to retain within the company. The rest of it, L0, L1, outsource this. We call it commodity services because those have to be 24/7, follow the sun models. It's really impossible for any human being to think about it. A lot of the time, you can now think about generative AI now, right? Because before it was buy, but right now it's buy plus AI that will actually generate even more robust those things for you as for us specifically as well.
Yeah,
Um,
firms that really you outsource things you understand that somebody else can run in commodity way and all, but you really, if you keep just trying to buy innovation from somewhere else, you really can't. You got to develop some of
Really
that
can't.
capacity.
Yeah. And then that also goes into the second thing as well. We tend to actually do a two thing depending on the maturity of your competency, the technology competency. We always call it the tech competencies. If your competency, the gaps to reach where you want to reach to what we so call the digital data and excellence initiatives in 3 years, if the gap is so large, uh, because you don't have enough of that, when we started the journey, we have less than 10% we can execute on the future tech stack. So what we did specifically is we buy, but we don't buy them completely. We specifically declare three SI providers. And then when we screen the providers, we're very specific. You're not here just for SI providers. You're here as part of our team to train and upskill our team members. And then we will be able to then generate the next movements of it. Right now, we're about one third, 33%. So think about with less than 10% to 33% of our people can actually work on future tech stack. That tremendous was ramped up within less than 12 and 18 months. So recycling of this upskilling, you really need the SI providers and you need to choose the tech stack that you want to do as a future tech stack. And that's really important. I think the last thing is always interesting because we have this discussion with so many industry peer, near shore, offshore. Those type of discussion never ends. And so if you do near shore, offshore, you might as just buy or build. The discussion will never end. So I think this is really is up to each company's risk tolerance, what you want to do, and how much volume you want to do. At Brenntag, we're not only declaring um, uh, always so-called the strategic partners who help us to do commodity services. We also have our own digital hubs. We declare as our digital collaborations and process collaborations. And then we also will be declaring for what we want to do as a process for continuous improvements. So those will give us the volume that we need. So most importantly, the make are the intellectual property we want to keep and continue to grow for our company.
It sounds like you're really leading just a great field of opportunity there right now with the company. And like you say, so many undigested M&A over time and probably a firm capable of more in the future and getting this architecture and platform in and unlocking the value out of it. I mean, what an exciting stage for you in your career. Um, Maybe for our final topic, you mentioned generative AI. And when we were last
Mhm.
together face to face, we talked about some machine learning pilots and production things you were doing. And the world has evolved a lot in generative AI. So just tell us a little bit, where is your head in
Mhm.
investment or avoidance of generative AI at this moment?
Yeah, so we very articulately when I was mentioning before, we declare four strategic technology partners. We have five actually. We have Salesforce, our strategic partners. We have Microsoft. We have AWS, and then we have um, uh, SAP as well as the last one that we also have and the supply chain as well. Strategic partners are here to help us to make sure that we continue to design the architectures with them. So let's talk about generative AI. We specifically choose or chose, still choosing our AWS as our data platforms, as our generative AI, as our AI platform as well. When you think about cases of that as well, is we're not thinking about only productivity because productivity is just one aspect of it. We always think about what is our customer experience with us specifically? How do we increase our cycle time? So we have a couple of pilots that we do specifically. How do we speed up a formulation time with the ingredient with our customers? How do we speed up our customers' questions when they ask about a product? How do we speed up questions from a customer to say, where's my case? I have a complaint as well for some times ago, where is everything? I think one of the most interesting thing I'm very proud of our team is we look at the volume of our customer touch points with us specifically. In the distribution industry, many of our customers still using email. So we actually have a very successful rate of accuracy. Is an email coming in, you use machine learning to actually take a look at it, is to say, how the things are be, and then you can actually automate generate SO that what was called the sales order directly into our CRM. But that's just the first phase of it. The second phase of it will become the prompts. So when the customer engineers an order to you now, because if you generate it with the accuracy so high, then you can prompt the email response back to the customer so they know that the sales has been handled. And then they know the next thing, when the next touch point is coming over, the generative AI and everything, you can prompt everything back to the customer so they can continue to do. And the responses become better and better and better. So we're still very early stage of that, but we have the infrastructure from data and then to do everything to get that ready. But we're not there yet, but we're excited to test those out.
Well, what an extraordinary time, because if you think about how much data your firm has regarding so many customer touch points, and then you also think about how word intensive your products are, because they have a lot of engineering data around them. There's lots of complexity around them, that you've got kind of the two pieces of rocket fuel here, lots and lots
Mm-hmm.
of words and lots of smart people there that know things that your customers will value. And so generative
Mm-hmm.
AI, of course, is fabulous, getting it tuned to help customers with all those words and all that data that your firm has, that you're getting architected in a way to extract value and meaning from it in a sequenced, planned set of activities and the journey that you're on right now. Thank you so much for taking time to be with our students. It's wonderful to see how your career and you have prospered since being here in the halls of the Kelley School. And I will look forward to seeing you again sometime at a Global Dean's Advisory Council. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brett. Appreciate it.